Hey y'all, this is just a disclaimer that in the next video clip, I don't know why I sounded so winded and out of breath. Y'all, it literally sounded like I was going after every phrase or word. I don't know what was going on. I did work last night. Y'all know I'm doing security. And then also too, just exhausted, resting all day. I don't know if that's what caused it. But I just noticed that I was sounding really out of breath. So I just want to do a disclaimer, that I do apologize if that's irritating. I did talk about the fact that when I create these videos, it's this weird thing that happens. I don't know if it's neural monitoring, and I don't want to bear false witness. But those of y'all that have been subscribed, you've heard me say this before. Whenever I create these videos, it's like I get really winded. So it's just like this either odd, uncanny coincidence or neural monitoring. I'm not sure. Because I do know that, it's frowned upon when I make these videos. But anyways, I just wanted to apologize. My health is good. My breathing is fine. I just had a physical, y'all, literally yesterday or the day before that, where they put the little monitor on and checked my pressure, my breathing, my heart, everything's in pristine condition. So I don't really understand why I'm sounding like an asthmatic in that video. I don't know. It's just one of these things that happens when I create these videos where I get winded. It's odd. But anyways, I just wanted to apologize for that, y'all. And also just wanted to say this disclaimer that the video that I'm sharing in the next clip is being shared using the Fair Use Act. So I'm a journalist that's exploring and researching the targeted individual phenomenon, and I'm sharing information that I learn with my viewers. And so that video is being used for educational purposes. So I just wanted to add that in, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and share the video that I created. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Sharifa and my poetry name is New Lily. Guys, I just attempted to do this video and I listened back. First of all, it cut off. I'm so annoyed because I did so much talking. I want to say like 15 minutes worth of talking before I realized the video had stopped recording. But I still got 17 minutes of content. But when I listened back, I sounded out of breath. I was laying on my back. I'm exhausted. I worked last night, y'all. Y'all know I'm doing security right now. Night shift. So I sounded really out of breath and congested. Y'all know also too, those of you that have been subscribed, that I do have congestion issues. Something I've had my whole life. It's called chronic sinusitis. So just all of that, I'm saying chronic sinusitis, but I don't think that's actually what I'm suffering from. I've talked about this in prior videos, y'all. Not trying to go off on but just very quickly, I went to a doctor, nose and ear, when I was a child, and was told basically that I have like a deformity where my nostrils or the turbines are smaller than the average nostrils. And so my mom gave me the option of whether or not I wanted to get the surgery that was recommended, and I chose not to. So my whole life I've dealt with stuffy nose, etc. So I was just, listening back to that video, and I was like, oh my God, no. I sounded out of breath. I sounded nasally, my nose was stuffy. I was like, let me try to do this again. And then to boot, the video cut off early. So I was like, let me just, as exhausted as I am, and not exhausted, I did get to rest, y'all. I've been sleeping since this morning, and it's now 12. But for those of you that have worked the night shift, you know how it works. The body's not naturally meant to be nocturnal, the human body. So even if you get rest and stuff, you still wake up feeling tired. But I'm a lot better than how I was feeling this morning. But yeah, the video was a mess, y'all. It was good info, but I was just like, let me try that again. Take 2. So anyways, if you're new, welcome. I'm sorry for the winded, rambling beginning. But if you're new, welcome to my channel. Please check out the links in the description box in the comment section. In both of those areas, you'll find an identical set of links with information for targeted individuals. So the top links, the first 3 or 4 links that you'll see, are links that lead to videos talking about what started my targeting in 2020. I have a full story video option where I put together a 12-hour, 7-part video compilation with me on camera. And I made sure to mention on camera because you'll notice that a lot of my videos are not on camera. And that's because the computer that I was using last year to create my videos, well, actually since the end of 2022, when I first started making targeted individual videos, that computer was confiscated. It wasn't mine. I had loaned it from someone in my close circle. It wasn't working at the time because of the targeting. And so I wasn't able to access a computer with a camera on it. And I did have a computer from when I was in college that worked briefly. It's not working anymore, which is why y'all have not been seeing any more videos with me on camera. But it was working at the time when I created, again, my How I Became a Targeted Individual full story video. I had other videos on camera, y'all. Those of y'all that have been subscribed, you are familiar with what I'm talking about. I had so many videos with me on camera, y'all. But when that computer was confiscated, that person in my close circle also went into my personal YouTube account because I hadn't signed out and deleted all of those videos. So last year, I want to say since around June, I've been working diligently just to try to recreate the content that got deleted. And a lot of my videos are now not on camera. So you'll only find, I think it's 3 videos with me on camera. So one of those videos is that full story video that I was just referencing, where I sat there for about 12 hours. I didn't sit there for 12 hours, consecutive hours, y'all. It's a 7-part, like I said, video compilation where I sat on camera and I talked about what started my targeting, but I also talked about my full story. So some of the things that I've been through since my early 20s up until now, age 32, and what led up to my targeting in 2020. So I'm on camera for that one, y'all. And then I'm also on camera for my second video link that you can check out to hear my story, right? And it's called Commentating. It's right there on the screen, commentating over clip from my story that shares how I became a targeted individual. And as y'all can see, that's from 4 months ago. And what I did was I went into that 12-hour video and I fast forwarded to the part that talked specifically about what started my targeting and some of the things that preceded my targeting. So not the whole backdrop story, but what directly preceded my targeting and what led up to me becoming a target in the first place. I screen recorded that part of the 12-hour video for my commentating over a clip, and I provided commentary over it. So just expounding on some things that I wanted to go into further detail about. So if you don't have the time or patience to check out the full story, which I do recommend that you do because I do reference some of the things that I've talked about in newer videos, right? So there might be certain things that you're not familiar with or privy to if you didn't check out my full story. It's not meant to be watched in one sitting, y'all. I know 12 hours sounds crazy, but I literally told my whole life story. So it's meant to be watched in bits and pieces whenever you have the time. And I've had other targets watch and give me feedback, and I appreciate it. But if you don't have the time right now to check out the full story, you can check out my commentating over a clip video and get the gist of what started my targeting, right? And so that's another option you can check out. And then the third option is my summary video. And that one I don't really recommend as much because it's about the same length as the commentating over a clip video, but it's less detailed. It's older. I created it around the time when I created my full story. The commentating over a clip is a little bit more in depth. I'm on camera because I did a screen recording, like I said, from the full story. So you can check out the summary video too, y'all, and get the gist of what started the targeting. But I would recommend, if you're not going to watch the full story, that you watch this video that's on the screen, the commentating over a clip from my story video. Anyway, y'all, so that's for those of you that are new. And also then from there, I would recommend you check out all of my videos. Y'all, just take your time and go through and sift through and see what's important to you from what's not. Because this is not a niche channel, y'all. So I don't specifically talk about just one thing. I do talk a lot about targeting because that's my life at the moment. So I share my experience. I share information, pertinent information for targets about the technology utilized on targets, as well as my experience with the program and some of the tactics used on targets. I talk about that and I document that. But there are other videos on here as well that aren't relevant to the targeting if that's what you came here for. I have videos that talk about Asperger's. I have videos that talk about ADD. As you guys can see, the banner for my channel says Talk with Sharifa, Living with Asperger's and ADD. So I talk about that as well on this channel, y'all, and some other stuff as well too. So there's different things, whatever you came for, you can check out, or you could check out everything. Even if you came for one thing, like let's say you came from the Asperger's neurodivergent community, you can still check out my targeting videos because that information is relevant to you too and anybody that's living in today's society. It's good to be aware of the technology that exists in the world you live in now. So all of this information is pertinent if you ask me, and that's not just biased. I'm objectively saying that. All of this information is pertinent for everyone that lives in this world today. Anyways, guys, that's it with that little intro. So for those of you that are new, please check out my prior videos before you check this one out. But y'all, this video is just, more info. I haven't made a video in a while. I know y'all saw for a while there I was pumping out like several videos every week. And then now you just kind of saw like it looked like I went on a hiatus. And I kind of did, just kind of trying to stay out of trouble. I did hear back from the corrections officer job that I told y'all about a few months ago. Remember, I told y'all, and I've been talking about it in some of these videos, that I applied to become a corrections officer. And I told y'all I got through the first 2 interviews. I did the psychological evaluation, and then I hadn't heard back for a couple months. And so I was kind of just in limbo, just trying to, wait things out and see what was going to happen. And I said I would let y'all know what was going on. So I did hear back. And I do have an agility test scheduled for next Saturday. So I'm excited about that. And I've been trying to steer clear of making these videos because I didn't want to jeopardize that opportunity. And even before I had heard back, I actually had stopped the videos. I had kind of taken a break after that last video that I created. That was the plan anyways. That's been the plan. I've been telling you in these recent videos that I want to take a break from making not just take a break, but like kind of steer away from making these targeted individual videos. But it's just like sometimes there are things that happen that I feel like I really need to document. I keep saying that, and this is what makes the videos constantly keep pumping out, because it's like things happen. And I'm just like, oh my God, I really got to document. This is crazy. I have to talk about this, Something happened the other day I felt that way about, but I was just like, let me not, I stopped myself from making the video. But it's really just advocation for me, protection and documentation, advocating for myself, but then also to sharing info with other targets. Because obviously I can empathize with your experience. I'm living it. And I know that, some of this information would have helped me had I learned it sooner. So that's why I'm so like adamant about putting the info out there. Anyways, y'all, so I'm really not trying to get in problems. So even with this video, I'm trying to tread light and share what I learned, right? Because I came across this video that's out there already. All of the info I share on this channel, y'all, is information that's already out there. It's already available to the public. I don't have any inside info, any inside scoop, so anything that I share really shouldn't cause tension for me. It just might be the way that I word things. And so I'm trying to be careful, but this is an informational channel. Although I am still trying to steer clear of sharing certain things because I do want to stay out of trouble. But all the info I share on this channel, y'all, is things that's out there. I just did diligent research and decided to put it in one place as a source for targets. And so this is just one of those things. I came across another video with information about technology that I've already discussed in several of my videos. This is what I kind of went off on a tangent about. I was talking about those links that you could click on in my description box and comment section to hear what started my targeting. But underneath those links are important informational links that lead to videos where I shared evidence and information about the technology used on targets, links to videos from the military where they talk about some of the technology used on targets, and even a link to an article that discusses, some of these drones and technologies that are used on targets, even how the RFID chip is implanted, the RFID chip that's used to neuromonitor you and to broadcast your thoughts, and this is what this video is about. Thought broadcasting, mind reading. That's what this video is about, y'all. I stumbled across a video from NBC that I wanted to share with you guys. So this is what this video is about, y'all. Just more evidence to validate your experience as a target. Because, it's this weird thing where even though the technology and the information is out there, even this video, you can see, obviously NBC has, 6 million and change subscribers. It's a big news outlet, right? This is a big ass, deal. This type of technology, they have videos out there about it. And when you look at the views, you see 40,000 views, 45,000 views. Not all of them. Some of them you might see 500,000 once in a blue moon. But for the most part, when it comes to this technology, a lot of the public is ignorant to this technology, unless they're privy to this whole targeting thing. That's really how they come into contact with the technology. That's how I learned about it, from becoming targeted. That's how the people around me learned about it, from being gang stalkers, or even if they're not directly involved with my targeting. Remember, my targeting, for those of you that are new, you're hearing this for the first time. Those of you that have been subscribed, you're familiar with this. I have a unique targeting case. I'm from an island, right, where to my knowledge, no one else has ever been targeted. I'm the only person to have ever been targeted on this island. And my targeting went viral because of some of the reactions I had when I tried to relocate off of the island. Because my targeting was happening and amping up, and I didn't really know what was going on. And I thought I could just up and leave and start over. And I wasn't aware of the fact that this would be something that would follow me. And so when it did follow me, when I tried to relocate to the mainland, I had some reactions, not physical. That's the crazy part. There are targets that have physical reactions that their targeting doesn't even go as viral as mine. It's wild, y'all. My whole story is wild, and it's just like a freaking conundrum. It's just crazy. Anyways, I had some reactions that led to my targeting going viral. You got to listen to my story, y'all. And that's another link that's in the description box in the comment section. If you check out my part 1, Gaslighting and Programming of the Targeted Individual video, it's right underneath the 3 video links I referenced earlier that contain what started my targeting. If you check out that gaslighting video, you'll hear about some of the experiences that I had when I tried to relocate off island, when the thing followed me and went viral. I give vivid detail about what happened and what caused it to go viral. So please check out that video, y'all. Hear my side of the story, because oftentimes targets are turned against me because of some of the offensive things I said out of anger, frustration, reaction to what was happening to me. It's called reactive abuse. And then when they check out that video and they check out my videos, they come back around. That's happened several times where they've tried to turn targets against me, and then they come back around. Yeah, when I say they, y'all, I'm talking about the shadow networkers, whoever's controlling the technology. Because I'm hearing the rooster drone going off. I'm trying to tread light, y'all. I do not want... I'm just being real. I'm just telling y'all what has happened, my experience. But at the same time, again, I'm trying to be careful. I do not want to get into problems. I'm just telling y'all what has happened. And literally, I have had targets that have started to move strange with me, that were in communication with me, started moving strange, and I could tell that they had been contacted and probably made privy to some of the offensive things that I said out of anger and reaction to what was happening to me. And then when they hear my story, they come back around. That's all I'm saying. So anyways, y'all, so check out that video as well, y'all, that gaslighting, part 1, programming and gaslighting of the targeted individual video, if you want to hear more details about what led to my targeting going viral and being a unique targeting case. So long story short, y'all, I ended up coming back here to the island I tried to relocate off of. And of course, the thing is now fully widespread. Everyone on the island is privy to my targeting. Not everyone's involved directly, right? You do have a lot of people that are, but there are a lot of people that aren't involved, but they're privy. They know what's going on. Everyone knows. And that's stimuli for me too, y'all. That phrase, everyone knows. They like to throw that to me a lot with the another form or tactic that they use is called shadow networking, y'all. And so I've talked about that in several videos as well. That's another link, informational link in the description box, y'all. A video I created called Pertinent Information about the Targeted Individual Program. And in that video, I discussed the shadow networking technology, that's what it's called, that's utilized on targets. And what that does is hack all of your technological devices. And any app that you use, they can send subliminal messaging to you. So if you go on YouTube, for instance, they can, in the recommended section, send you videos that would seem like an algorithm, because it's typically relative to the things you like to watch, but it will contain stimuli in it to sensitize you. So whatever it is that they sensitize you to, you'll see stimuli in there, and it might feel like subliminal messaging, and it might feel like you're schizophrenic or crazy, but that's just another tactic used on targets, one of many that involves technology. And so I forgot what I was saying now, y'all. I went off. I lost my train of thought. I went off on a tangent. What made me talk about that? Oh boy, I lost my train of thought, y'all. My God. I hate when that happens, and I'm going to listen back and realize where I went off. Why was I talking about the shadow networking? I was trying to tell y'all about that video that talked about what made my targeting go viral. So I was just telling y'all that not everyone down here is involved, although everyone is privy to my targeting. What made me talk about the shadow networking, though? I don't even know, y'all, but there's a lot of people involved in my targeting, and it's a unique case. So for me, specifically with my targeting, everyone around me. Oh, that's why, because I was saying the everyone knows thing. And so with the shadow networking technology, y'all, it will feel like subliminal messaging is being sent to you, and they'll try to sensitize you to things. And so for me, one of the things they like to sensitize me to is the phrase everyone knows. And so that's constantly sent to me in these videos that I'm watching amongst other things, right? So that's how I went off on a tangent with that. But anyways, so that's what's going on with my targeting. It's viral, y'all. Like, I'm telling you, so many people are involved, are privy, excuse me, to my targeting. It's like this public day humiliation type thing going on. You know, it almost felt like a public day lynching in a way. God forbid, but that's kind of what it felt like and feels like. But that's what's going on with me. It's a unique targeting case. You would think I had done some heinous crime. If you really listen to the targeting, I'm one of those targets that actually didn't do anything violent. I didn't do anything crazy. I just said offensive stuff. And I made false accusations without malicious intent. I didn't have malicious intent behind them. You would think one of the other targets, because there are targets that have committed crimes, and I'm not saying that in a judgmental way. I'm not. I'm just being candid. There are targets that actually have committed crimes that aren't even at the level of targeting that I'm at. It's ludicrous, y'all, what's happening here. But it's like this humbling thing that's going on, and it's just like it's gone so far. But anyways, I'm not gonna go into it too much, y'all. Anyway, so back to the point of what the video is about, though, y'all. So this is just more information, that's all. You know, this is another video talking about some of the technology that I've discussed in prior videos, including some of the links in the description box in the comment section. You know, those links lead to, like I said, videos that shares information about technology utilized, including the mind reading technology utilized on targets. And so I just came across a video from NBC, excuse me. Whoa. Let me go to the video, because I'm having like a brain blank. You know when that happens where you know what you want to say and it's like your brain is blank? That's kind of what's happening right now. This is what I hate about remaking videos. Like, the first time comes out perfect, and then when you have to remake it, it comes out, you know, sometimes not as good, or like you're stammering or rambling. And I know at least I'm not sounding out of breath in this one, but at the same time, it's like I feel like I'm stammering a little bit, rambling. Not seeing the video, y'all, and that's freaking me out. That's odd. Let me see something. There it is. MSNBC. I think I was saying NBC. What was I saying? Well, I don't know. MSBC, or I don't know what I was saying, y'all. But I'm tired. MSNBC. Anyway, guys, so you can see that I had other videos up as well about the mind reading technology videos that I created. Because as I told you guys, I just made this video. Literally. And so I'm remaking it again. But you can see those two top videos that says New Lily 777, evidence of mind control technology used on targeted individuals, with the thumbnail of the brain and the big yellow microchip, and then diagram of neuromonitoring effects on targeted individuals. Those are two videos where I've shared information about the technology utilized on targets. I've shared patents in those videos, right? Google patents, they have other patents as well out there about the technology. But then also that diagram that you see in the most recently watched video, diagram of neuromonitoring effects. That's a video that I created about, I want to say 4 or 5 months ago. Sorry for the stammering, y'all. I heard the little plane. You know, for those of you that are targeted, you're familiar with noise campaigns. And I'm sure you're familiar with the fact that they use aircrafts to noise campaign you sometimes. So sometimes a little plane will fly overhead, or if you're in the mainland, a helicopter. So that's what I heard, and I started stammering. But this diagram of neuromonitoring effects, that's actually a diagram that came from DARPA, the creators of the technology. And it was released in a freedom of speech press conference. And it tells you some of the effects and capabilities of the technology. So these are two videos that I have, amongst many others, on my channel where you can get info about this technology, right? And validate your experience. But this new video that I came across today that I wanted to share, again, is just another source that you can use to validate your experience. As you can see, Obama is on the thumbnail. If you've listened to prior videos for me, Y'all have heard me say that Obama signed the brain initiative when he was in office. And that's what led to the amping up of targeting and the amping up of the use of this technology. Because from my research and what I've learned, it's been around for decades, but it's amped up ever since Obama was in office because he signed the brain initiative. And so I shared that too in one of these videos that I posted on my channel, y'all. Let me go here real quick and show. I'm not going to click on it. I just want to show y'all so you could click on it yourself. I believe this is in my description box and comment section as well, but I'm not sure. So just in case, I want to scroll down and show you where you can go to check it out. You see where it says patent in all caps for synthetic telepathy used on targeted individuals. And then you see the thumbnail that says artificial telepathy. That's a 9-minute, 45-second video where I shared a clip from Michael Barden, who's another target that I learned a lot of my info from, where he's showing the patent that's used, right? The patent for the technology, more evidence that it truly exists. He's showing that same DARPA diagram that I was showing, as well as other things in that video. Anyways, y'all, let me show you guys this video though. So this is from MSNBC, credible, reputable news outlet that's talking about this technology. New tech enables actual mind reading. Obama admin vet and research. And this is just from a year ago, y'all. And it's not new. It just seems like they're being more forthcoming with the fact that this exists, which is kind of scary. But I don't know. I don't want to say scary. Let me say this, right? I see the benefit of this technology. I see how it could be utilized for good. I see how if there's somebody that's actually truly committed a crime, that's a true threat, I could see if they utilize this on someone like that, I could see how this could be beneficial. Again, you have the question of ethics and moral, right? And it just depends on what your views are, what your belief system is. Because for me, even if someone did commit a crime, I do believe that they should be punished to the furthest extent of the law. But me personally, from my own subjective opinion and belief system, and not because of what I went through. When I say it's subjective, I'm not speaking because of my experience with the technology, because it would seem that way. Had I never experienced this horrendous experience, I would still say the same thing. I'm not for this technology. That's just my personal experience. That doesn't mean I'm anti-government. I have a right to have an opinion, and I have a right to have feelings about things, right? That's my God-given right. I'm somebody that's into nature and into being natural and into living the way that the Most High made things, right? I don't even really believe in using medication. I personally don't agree with the use of this technology. I just feel like you shouldn't be tampering with the human body like that. I feel like you shouldn't be, interfering with God's creation. I feel like you shouldn't be emulating God's creation, because for me, this technology emulates God's creation, the Most High's creation. For instance, the nanobots, right? These are brain-like technologies, and they're made to kind of emulate the brain. Computer systems, they kind of emulate the brain and the way that the brain works and functions. The chip they're using in your brain, they're using an RFID chip to microchip you. That's an acronym for radio frequency identifier. They're using a frequency basically and these unnatural man-made frequencies to control the technology. That's emulating the Most High's creation, because the earth is on a natural frequency. So all of these things to me are emulations of what the Most High created. And so I truly don't believe in the use of it, whether it's on a criminal or not. But then what further makes it to me something that's unethical is the fact that it's used on innocent civilians. You could just be somebody that said something offensive, and now I'm coming from a subjective standpoint because that's been my experience. You could just be somebody that said something offensive, or you bared false witness, you pissed off the wrong person, and you can end up being microchipped without your consent. And to me, that's completely unethical. I'm just being honest about how I feel. I'm not anti-government. I never have been. I'm just being real about how I feel. And so that's what's going on with that. There's the question of ethics when it comes to this technology. You have people that can see the benefit. Again, there are some people out there that are truly disturbed that this technology could be beneficial if used on. But at the same time, what if you're using it on somebody innocent just because you don't like them as a person? Or, again, what if you're just emulating the Most High's creation in general and kind of in a way, I don't want to say playing God. I don't want to say that. That sounds kind of, I don't want to say playing God, but it's just like, in my opinion, personally, I just don't believe in the use of it. I'm just being real. Anyway, guys, let me go ahead and share this video with you guys.
This week, Senate Democrats held a hearing about artificial intelligence technology and ideas for regulation in this space with these fast breakthroughs and few rules. The hearing echoes many conversations about this kind of tech today. There's fears about abuse. There's a whole range of examples, from automating jobs and things that might save time to upending national security or how the police do their jobs. And we hear a lot of kind of general platitudes. Well, tonight we turn to news in one specific way that artificial intelligence technology is changing our world, and it is absolutely remarkable. Current medical technology can gather rich information about brain activity. We knew that. But now, artificial intelligence language models are providing a new breakthrough to interpret that brain information. New research shows that the tech can help read people's private thoughts, that the science plus the tech enables mind reading. Let me say that news again, because sometimes around here we just report the news, we run right through it, and you kind of need to realize what we're learning. And I'm going to show you exactly what we mean by this, but researchers are accurately performing some human mind reading. They can translate a person's brain activity into a continuous stream. So then that text corresponds to what the researchers can determine people are thinking. And this is from formal results from a research team at the University of Texas at Austin. Now, the new option raises all kinds of possibilities. One of the first is a medical priority, that this can enable people who are currently paralyzed or completely physically impaired to basically get a brand new lease on communicating. The researchers focused on picking up attempted speech of people who have lost the ability to speak, or using these tools to help paralyzed people, in a sense, write by thinking of writing. So the tech is using scans of brain blood flow, and it basically trains this translator or this decoder of that brain information. And they do this by having participants consume videos to map their reactions and basically the intended words their brain would pick about what they're seeing. The researchers are using the brand data to become this translator of the subject. And this has successfully used brain activity to accurately describe events from the videos, meaning it works. They're doing this. So the stuff in your brain that drives...
Okay, guys, I don't want to share too much of it because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but I am going to put the link to this video at the top of all of my links, right? So it'll be the first link in the description box in the comment section. But y'all can hear that they have the capability to do this. They're telling you here on MSNBC. That's a big deal, right? I also wanted to show y'all something that it was just an example of them shadow networking again. Remember I told y'all they like to sensitize me to plaid, right? That's something specific to my targeting. So, you know, with the shadow networking technology, remember I told you they send you videos, and not just videos, they mess with your Facebook too. You know, like constantly when I'm on Facebook, even if it's not someone that sent a friend request, if I'm just looking names up and I look up, you know, like let's say a specific last name, because this happened to me the other night, and I'm looking through the list of people that pop up, you know, majority of them are wearing plaid shirts, you know, or doing strange things. They're able to change actual technology, pictures, videos, etc., with the shadow networking technology, which is nothing compared to mind reading. If they can microchip you and read your mind and even push dots in your head if they want, you know, changing videos and pictures is nothing. That's simple. And so that's something they do. I've told you guys this already. For those of you that have been subscribed, you know what I'm talking about. They like to sensitize me to plaid because of something that I learned from a fellow target last year. Some conspiracy theory that he came up with the plaid, right? And I made the mistake of talking about it in one of my videos. And so to spite me, they started since last year sensitizing me to plaid. So like everything will have plaid in it. Literally, they're changing videos to make it look like people are wearing plaid. They're changing pictures. It's crazy. And then you have real trolls and gang stalkers who are truly putting on plaid to antagonize me, and messing with me in that way. But it's really actually something that they're changing with their technology. So it's crazy. But they can do that. They can make you feel like you're seeing subliminal messaging through the media. And it's shadow networking. So that's another informational link to check out, y'all, in my description box and comment section. The video where I initially talked about this technology is titled Pertinent Information about the Targeted Individual Program, where I shared a clip from Michael Barden's page, a former military agent who's now targeted, who talks about this technology and how they use it to manipulate media and social engineer and, sometimes paint false narratives, send you subliminal messaging, etc. And then I've even created a part 1, part 2, and part 3 video, right? Where I showed y'all examples of them using the technology on me, shadow networking, to send me subliminal messaging. And in my part 3 video, I shared a clip from that same target that I learned about the plaid from, where they were using the technology on him. So check those videos out. I don't have the parts 1, 2, and 3 in my description box and comment section, but it is on my channel, y'all. Anyway, I just want to fast forward in the video and show y'all that they had plaid in this video as well. Look at this. You see the guy by the MRI? You see him wearing the plaid, and you can see it looks weird. Like, it always has this kind of strange generic look to it, the plaid. Sometimes the shoes the person's wearing won't even match the plaid shirt. Like, it looks so unnatural. You can tell that was something that was manipulated. It's this weird thing. Anyway, guys, so I just wanted to share this video with y'all. Just another shred of evidence to validate your experience as a target, and just, validate the fact that this technology really exists. Like, we are in a high science technological age, y'all. I even want to show you a comment talking about ethics. It said, so AI doesn't need a computer or phone to data mine us anymore. Lovely. This horse is so far out of the gate. Trying to rein it in and get it out of bad actors' hands is long gone. Not that. There was a comment. I was talking about efficacy. I'm not afraid of AI robots. I'm afraid of other humans. All of the problems humans create are because of our ego. Not that. Excuse me, guys, sorry. There was a comment that was talking about ethics in here. Excuse me, that I read. They can shadow network. Sometimes they change comments too. I've seen them do it where they send me comments with stimuli in it. Or they'll remove a comment that I read, and I'm not seeing that comment now. It had 60 likes. I liked it. That was talking about ethics. And now I'm trying to see it, and I don't see it. Totally gone. That's crazy. Oh, here it is. Technology always seems to get ahead of ethics. And you see that got 61 likes. So there is that question of ethics with this, right? Because there's so many things that can go wrong with this. I.e. my situation. But there's so many examples like that out there. There's so many targets that are, enduring this situation, and it's like, it's wild. But anyways, guys, that's it. That's all I wanted to show y'all. I just wanted to show y'all that video and let y'all check that out. There's more that I wanted to talk about that I talked about in the last video that I can't remember now what it was. I think I was showing a picture of for y'all. I went and I'm just making sure I'm still recording. And sorry for these pictures of the buff muscular people. I'm into working out and stuff, y'all. So I do take screenshots of people that are, going through different workout phases, etc. Right? But what I want you to focus on is the plaid shirt. I'm trying to move so you don't see the name of the people, because these are random people that didn't give me permission to post their profiles in my videos, even though they're like across the globe. I still don't like doing stuff like that. I just want to show you another example of shadow networking. So the other night while I was at work, they sent me a video on my news feed about Africa. And so I was just looking at the video and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I saw some unique African last names. I was like, wait a minute, let me do that thing I used to do. Because I used to do this before my targeting, y'all. It's just one of those quirky things that I like to do, right? I thought was cool. I used to sometimes type in like foreign last names, like purposely last names from other countries, just to find random profiles and look at the pictures. And, you know, obviously they'll be taking pictures of their country, or, you know, just natural pictures of what it's like living out there. You know how you do, like when you live in a place, you take pictures and you vlog your life that kind of way on your social media. That was my way of getting a glimpse into other countries. And so sometimes I would put in like random last names and just do that, right? And so I was like, let me put in some African last names into Facebook and see, you know, the profiles that pop up. So I first looked up some African last names on Google, and I started typing them into Facebook. And every profile I was coming across, guys, I kid you not, had plaid shirts. Like, they were literally playing with me with the technology. Like, almost every freaking profile had plaid shirts. It was crazy. And so I started to take a screenshot of what I was seeing, and I was actually create a video, and I stopped myself because I didn't want problems. I was like, let me just stop with these videos, right? But I did take a screenshot of two of the profiles I came across. As you can see, this is one of them, right? You can see his eyebrows up. Remember I told you they sensitized me to eyebrows and stuff. You can see the plaid shirt. I can't really explain it. It just has this kind of weird generic look always. Like, you could tell it's their technology. It's so freaking good though. Like, it looks, you wouldn't know any better if you didn't know, right? Then this was another profile, a random profile. You know, the plaid again. It's just this weird thing where I was seeing plaid, this plaid, like real obvious plaid markers, like what was here. I don't know if it's gonna happen again. I think they would probably not do it on purpose. You know, if I tried to do it now, they would purposely not do it. But let me just try and see. I think one of the last names I typed in was Adebi, the African last names. Let me see. And it was just a bunch of profiles with plaid, y'all. I feel like now they're gonna purposely not do the plaid thing. Well, look, they did it. Look. Because they already have it set. You know, however they have the thing hacked, they already have it set to where the plaid is going to be popping up. But just a bunch of profiles with plaid, y'all. It's crazy. All I have to do is type in a last name, right? Or the army fatigue. These are the two things that will pop up. They also sensitize me to army fatigue, right? You just start seeing a bunch of profiles with the plaid or the army fatigue. It was crazy the other night, though. I'm surprised even one popped up. Look at this. Look again. Look. Y'all see that? I just typed in a random African name, Abibi. You see that? Let me see if another one pops. I'm surprised they're actually doing it. Like, I'm shocked. You know, and last time it was worse. It was like every profile had the plaid. Everyone. Like, if I click on this guy's page, I guarantee you in his pictures, I will find a plaid shirt. I guarantee you. Clocks. They also sensitized me to clocks, by the way, y'all. But I don't know if that's shadow networking or just a coincidence. So I'm not gonna make something out of nothing now. Shockingly enough, I don't see plaid on shirt on his stuff, right? But I kid you not, y'all, like almost every profile you'll see plaid. This is not as bad as what was happening the other night. You just saw a few of them. I don't know if they're getting in there and changing it up now or what, you know, because however they have it programmed, it's like automatically whatever I look up, plaid is gonna pop up. It's nowhere near as bad as the other night. This is like when I was seeing it the other night, I was like, oh my God, I need to make a video. And I stopped myself from making the video. I didn't actually do it. But it was just like plaid like crazy, y'all. Like every freaking profile had plaid. Not just like the two, like the three that you just saw. I think that was just the thing still in there. They probably changed it up now. I don't think that's plaid. Yeah, no. It was crazy what was happening the other night, y'all. Yeah, it's nowhere near as bad now. Like the first three, you could see they had the thing in there, and look it again. You see that? But it's usually way worse. Like the other night, it was crazy. I'm telling you, I almost made a video. It was like every profile, everyone was wearing plaid. I was like, what the heck? They're being so blatant with the technology, and I was hearing the noise campaign in the background. So the gang stalkers were seeing what was happening. You know, but now it looks like it's not as bad right now. But you still saw a few, you know, look at this. You know, it's crazy. It looks like they got in there and they changed it real quick, you know, so some of the stuff is still there, but it's not like before. Look at this. Does that even that looks like a Photoshop picture. Do you see the plaid? Y'all see what I'm talking about? I want y'all to do the same thing. Type in that last name and see if a bunch of plaid pops up for you. Or that African name. And it doesn't matter what African name I type in either, or name in general. I could put in any foreign name. A bunch of plaid will pop up. Like, I guarantee you, once I stop this video, if I type that name in again, way more plaid is going to pop up. I think it's still in there, the programming. So some of the plaid is still popping up. But they got in there and they changed it real quick. Look at that. People don't wear plaid that often, you know? And it's like, oh, this profile is locked. I can't get in there. But it's crazy, y'all. It was way worse the other night. It was like literally, I kid you not, every profile, everyone had plaid on. I was like, what the like, army? I was like, oh my God. Look at this. Y'all see what I'm talking about? It's still scattered in there a little bit, but it's not as bad as it was the other night. Look at this. Does that look natural to you? Do you think he's wearing a plaid shirt with that African attire? Does that look natural to you? Do you all see that? He's wearing a chic with a plaid shirt over it. Do you see that? So understand that this is what they do. They be messing with the technology. It looks like they tried to stop it a little bit. And Daniel, by the way, they sensitized me to the name Daniel too. That's one of my uncle's names, and they sensitized me to that name too. So understand that they're doing it even now, but it seems like they tried to get in there and kind of stop it. I don't know how they do it. Look at eyebrow up. They got in there and tried to stop it a little bit. Look, army fatigue. So it's not showing as much, but you're still seeing it. You see? You're still seeing it. It's still in there. They couldn't deprogram it quick enough. So it's still in there. It's crazy. Anyway, so I just wanted to show y'all that it's wild, y'all. It's wild what be happening. Anyway, it's crazy. Anyway, I just wanted to show I can just talk about that with y'all. But also too, still being careful with my words. You know, I don't want problems. I'll just keep y'all updated with what's going on. I just had to share that though, this mind control reading video, because it's like that's been the most torturous element to my targeting. You know, as I told you, I've been targeted since 2020, right? But the neural monitoring thing didn't start until after I tried to relocate off island. Like I said, please check out that part when gaslighting and programming of the targeted individual video to hear what made my targeting go viral. You know, that happened. I had those reactions. Used my mouth, said offensive stuff in reaction to what was happening to me. Moved back to the island I tried to relocate off of, and I was microchipped and neuromonitored. I got microchipped. I told y'all when I believe I received that first initial sting from the insect drone that implanted the RFID chip. That was December of 2022. And so I believe all of last year they were listening to my thoughts, but they didn't reveal it to me until June of last year. And so if you check out my prior videos, you'll hear when that happened. You know, you'll hear me talking about it. You know, what caused it. It was me documenting a trailer in the old neighborhood I lived in. Right after I made that video, that was when they started to reveal to me, basically, that they were listening to my thoughts, and that was when the real torture began. Because I know they know that before they had revealed to me that they were listening to my thoughts, my brain wasn't having this weird thing that happens to me, this psychological thing, y'all. I've talked about it in prior videos. I call it ticking. You know, the fact that I know that my thoughts are being projected, and I know that the people around me can hear it. Like the people in the very room with you. Let's say you go into McDonald's, for instance. Everyone in there can hear your thoughts in their head somehow. It's this weird thing. It's way more advanced than what that video I shared was saying. You know, it's not just as simple as your thoughts being translated into text. Your live thoughts, like telepathy, can be heard by those around you. That's how the technology works. It's brain-to-brain interface. And so this weird psychological thing starts to happen where you start to feel fearful of stuff popping in your head, and so stuff starts popping in and you have no control. You know, and then all day long too, with the shadow networking where they're sending you subliminal messaging, your brain is being programmed to certain things. For instance, I already told you they like to send me the word touch and the word tight in addition to other things. You know, and this all again leads back to the text I sent, me bearing false witness, and this being some sort of vigilante retribution. And so now all these weird accusations are being hurled at me. They're purposely making me feel accused, purposely sensitizing me to certain things and sending it to me all day long via the technology. So that's getting pounded into my head, similar to like a Coca-Cola ad where it flashes on the screen while you watch a movie, and then all of a sudden Coke pops in your head. It's like that, but way more invasive. You know, it's 24/7 programming. And then I go in public. I know my thoughts are being projected. You know, obviously I'm looking at my phone because I feel awkward, and I stumble across stimuli, for instance, the word touch. My brain starts to, as I would call it, tick, meaning stuff starts popping in my head because I read that word. And then I know the people around me can hear it. So it's this humiliating thing that starts to happen, and then my brain goes haywire. And when I say haywire, it's not like it's going crazy. It's more so just like it feels like stuff is popping in and I can't stop it. That's as far as that goes, and it's just humiliating is what it is. It's humiliating. And you can't stop it. It's this weird thing where it would seem like to somebody who hasn't experienced it, who's not having their thoughts projected, and who's not under the pressure of being under the spotlight with all these people listening and looking and judging, they can be like, well, what's going on with she, and that's just the island accent. Why is her brain doing that? Why can't she just stop it? And they don't understand it's psychological. Like, you literally, like, the more I try to stop it, the more it feels like stuff is pushing in my head. It's so embarrassing and humiliating. And so for me, that has been the most torturous part of being in this program more than anything else. I didn't even know the thing could get worse. Before I left Island, I was like, okay, I got to get out of here because, the cameras on me and following me around. I'm like, what the hell? This serious? I'm like, what, for a text? Not knowing that I was actually in a freaking program. And then I left and the thing followed me and blew up. And I really realized what torture was. I was like, oh my God, I thought it was bad before I left Island. This is really bad now. And it's now to the point where they can hear my thoughts and stuff too. I'm like, what? I was like, I didn't even know the torture, I didn't know it could get this bad. To the point where my thoughts are being like, that's a whole different level of torture, y'all. I can't even explain it to y'all unless you've experienced it. And I know a lot of you have experienced it. If you're targeted, you know what I'm talking about. There was this article I came across where it said that millions of targets are complaining about what they call thought manipulation, where thoughts are pushing in that they can't control and being humiliated. And I think largely what it is psychological. I think there's like a 20% element where they might actually push stuff in your head. But I think 80% of it is psychological. I truly believe that. But it's not something you can really explain. As much as I can articulate and talk about it, if you're not an empathetic person and you can feel others' emotions, and even if you can, you still could never imagine what this feels like unless you experienced it. So it's just this humiliating thing where stuff starts pushing in your head and you start to like panic, and so you try to stop it, and the more you try to stop it, the more stuff starts pushing in. It's this weird, embarrassing, humiliating thing. And I just can't really explain it. But that's what started happening to me June of last year. Once they revealed to me that they were listening to my thoughts, that started to become a torturous thing for me. Because prior to me knowing, my brain wasn't doing that, and I know they know that because they were listening to my thoughts and just being quiet about it. So it's just this weird thing, that's just like another element of the torture. But if you know about it, the technology exists, you understand that this is a tactic used, it does make it like more tolerable in a way, and so that's why I do these videos and I share the info and the sources so you guys can see that you're not crazy, you're not the only one going through it, and understand that this is really, a thing, this program, this technology, etc. So it's just good to be aware. Anyway, that's it, y'all. Just wanted to talk about it and share that video. More evidence just about this technology, that exists in the world that we live in today. Anyway, I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace out. Also, y'all, another thing that I mentioned that seems to have gotten cut out of the video is that I will be starting my junior developer journey again. I'm planning to, purchase another laptop and start creating projects again, start learning new coding languages, and also continuing with learning the coding languages that I was learning at the beginning of last year. And I'm even going to join some boot camps online, maybe even some courses. I was contemplating getting my master's in computer science because I did find an online program where I can do that. So I'm contemplating doing that. I'm not sure if I'm going to go that far though, because it's not necessary. You can do a boot camp, right? If you're disciplined enough, you can do a boot camp. And I'm sorry for this stammer, y'all. I'm hearing this weird sound outside. You know how it is, noise campaigns. But you can do a boot camp when it comes to the technology and, learn the coding languages basically. And so that's what I'm trying to do, and it's relative to not only changing my career path. I'm trying to become a corrections officer, y'all know that already, and I see myself doing that long term. But I'm just talking about as far as my career in the future goes, even further in the future, I would like to be a developer, and actually I can do both because you can work from home remotely as a developer and you make buku money doing that. But it's not just about the money. The main incentive for me is my experience with this program and with technology, and just realizing the world that we're in right now. It would be wise. I would recommend that all targets learn technology and learn how to code and learn how to program, so that way, in a way, you can defend yourself and possibly fight back. Maybe you can hack the RFID chip that's in your brain, etc. It would be wise to learn this technology. And so that's my goal. Not just to learn it because I want, obviously, a new career, not just the corrections officer career, but also something relative to what I did in school, because I was an English graduate. I am an English graduate. I meant to say I was an English major. I am an English graduate, right? So that's kind of relative to that field, because I can get into technical writing, I can do different things, but I wanted to do something with my degree. I don't want that to go to waste. And I only taught for 2 years, y'all. I mean, I taught for longer than that. I definitely did teach for longer than that. But I mean, like, with my degree as an actual English teacher, I taught for 2 years. And so I do want to do something with my degree. I worked hard to get it. And so this is where I'm thinking, okay, well, I want to further my education. I want to get my master's degree. I can use that to get a master's degree in computer science, whatever. So it's partially that, just not wanting those years to go to waste. But then also, to the other incentive is my experience with being in this program and being a victim to this technology, and realizing how important in this day and age it is to learn the technology so that you can, in a way, defend yourself, fight back, just I'm sorry, I heard barking outside, y'all, and it really just distracted me. That's like another form of noise campaign. But it's just good to be aware of the technology, if, especially as a target. That's another way to defend yourself. So anyways, y'all, I just wanted to give that update as well. I will be keeping y'all up to date with what's going on with the corrections officer position, keeping you up to date with what's going on with me trying to become a developer, because I'm trying to do both things. And so I will be actively keeping you up to date with what's going on with me. I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Peace out.